Hi folks, it's taken me a long time, but today I just realised I've not actually directly talked about the Boss SD-1. It's been in every single video that I've done, whether it's looking at the new PV I got, not new but new to me, using the Bugatti, using the Jet City, using my Boss Katana, into the Digitech. I've got a Line 6 and Firehawk that I sometimes run direct into a mixing desk. Doesn't matter which one I use. This thing is always there. I use this so consistently, and yet I completely forgot to tell you about it. You've heard it every single time, but that's it. It's always just been, oh, it's a Boss SD-1, it's there. It deserves its own show. So I'm going to give it its own little show. And I'm going to try and keep this one down to below the 20-minute mark for once. So if I manage that, could you please like and subscribe? That would be brilliant. I'm trying my best. Okay, what I'm going to do is run it into 4 different scenarios. I'm going to let you hear it clean, into a clean channel, as just a mild overdrive, crunchy overdrive. I'm going to let you hear it into the crunch channel of the PV, which is where I've been using this of late and just thinking, haha, this is just perfect, love it. I'll also put it into the high gain channel just to do the tightening up thing and giving it a bit of a boost, although the PV itself doesn't need that. I prefer to run the crunch channel. Since I've got that working, I just adore it. And I'm also going to let you hear it into a distortion pedal. I'm going to use the G.O.A.T Dark Flame, which I've done a video on before, which is essentially the Rev G3. It's a G.O.A.T copy of the Rev G3 pedal. So similar to the purple channel on the Rev amp, and it's fantastic, it's incredibly tight. However, it sometimes lacks a little bit of harmonic content. Boom! This seems to do it. So I'm going to run through all those things. I'll move the camera around and let you see the pedal and play you some bits and pieces. I'll just use the EVH Wolfgang. Again, I've done a video on this. It's a fantastic guitar to play. You'll find videos on everything really by now. I'm really running out of gear, and still my main pedal I forgot. Go figure. Anyway, I'll get this set up and let you see what's going on. Back in a second. Okay, so I'm now back, and you have this, switch it off, into the clean channel. There we go, nice and clean. And when I've got the volume, the level set to about halfway and the drive to the sort of 9 o'clock mark, the tone is just straight up. This is a lovely kind of gentle crunch. I'm using the humbucker on the EVH Wolfgang. Give you a bit more gain, up to halfway. So that's really all the controls at noon. you can hear it's got very much that Tube Screamer sound, but personally it's got a little bit more edge, a little bit more hair about it. So I'll set this up the way I would normally set it, and while I'm on the clean channel, I'm going to go into the dark flame. So here is the dark flame. You hear the noise suddenly come in. Maybe a little bit bright like that. I'll just take the top end off a touch. And that's fine, but it's no good for lead as it is. It just has a sort of two-dimensional sound to it. And this is where, again, and whether it's the G.O.A.T, whether it's going into the Katana, whether it's my old Digitech or Line 6, the SD-1 just adds something, a sparkle. A little bit noisy, but that's the Boss SD-1. It does that, and I will live with that all day long for what it does. But it just seems to add a harmonic content. It doesn't affect the sound of the G.O.A.T overly much, but it just adds this singing resonance and feedback and just another tone to it. These overtones just work. And it's not just because it's adding more gain, because if I use other boost pedals, it just doesn't do that to the same extent. Anyway, on to the thing that's, for me, the best bit. We'll go on to the crunch channel of the PV Ultra Plus. So it's an old amp, but as you hear how quiet it is now. Nice and tight, but add in the Boss SD-1 and you really get that hairy edge to it. But here's something I love about this. You hear the amount of gain, that amount of hiss, but still if I roll the volume back, multi-channel. This does not need any more gain. The ultra channel, I've got the gain on this only set at 1 o'clock. But a little bit loose, and without touching a single control in that pedal. And it does its thing. Honestly, yeah, if you're looking for an overdrive pedal, there's thousands of them. There's boutique ones, there's a million Tube Screamer clones. Get a Boss SD-1. And I will say, running into that PV it's great, running into the Bugera it's great, running into the Jet City it's great when the Jet City's on volume. And the Jet City is based on the Soldano Hot Rod 50. It's an incredibly bright amp. So at room volume, the SD-1 can sound a little bit brittle, a little bit harsh. But once you get that amp cranked and going, the SD-1 takes it to another level. Even my overdrive channel with the brown sound on the Boss Katana, it just, for some reason, that one pedal adds all this life. So there you go, a rundown on my all-time favourite overdrive. I love it to bits. I'll put a link in the description below. This is a no-brainer. If you're after an overdrive pedal, go for the Boss SD-1. I'll just put that back to crunch and I'll play you out and say bye-bye at the end.